Hey guys, so I'm gonna do this video today. So it's gonna be a collective conscious update, like an energy update, maybe some channel messages. We don't know. We don't. We just gonna see. All right. Well, we just gonna let that be. So Um, I did a reading, so we're gonna kind of start off with what the collective conscious is. So, for those of you that don't know, the collective conscious is everybody. So me, you, me, everybody, everything. That it does include Mother Earth and everything. So that's what's going on. We're gonna see what's going on with the collective consciousness energetically, kind of like an update. So um, we've had some portals. It just like a portal is basically like a day. So for example, like what did we have? We'll have 1111 portals. It gets really intricate with how everything works out because you'll do like, for example, if it's 611 2018, that's an 1111 portal because if you add 2018, that equals to be 11. So 2018 is the year of 11. It is the Aquarius or like Aquarian age. Um, and then the 6th month is June. So the number 6 represents love. And the day obviously is 11. So it can be an 1111 portal, um, for example. Like yesterday was the 22nd. That was an important day. We also have all these energies coming in with the transits and the astrological stuff for those of you that keep up with all of that. So I know I kind of just blabbed on for 2 minutes, and you guys are probably gonna be like, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" But you guys will learn. So this is what we're moving out. We'll start off what the collective consciousness is moving out of. So we have the Four of Wands. Usually the Four of Wands means like if you guys don't, if you guys that fucking Blair, glare is what I meant to say. Okay, cute. Okay, so as you can see, it looks like a little happy family, and they're surrounded in a square. Um, which is like a completion, like, enclosed in. It can represent community, family, and things of that nature. So I think that we are moving out of a state of being like like a community and being almost like a family to each other, and we've been moving into this uh, so we have 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So basically what that is, or what I see with that, is that there's an unbalance now, or an imbalance with everybody. So as you can see with this, he has the 2 Pentacles, and he's kind of like, it's almost like juggling, but it's like finding that balance. There's many things that I get from this. There's a lot of I see the clouds, the water. It looks like there's a moon, uh, the dolphin. So there's some sort of sense of imbalance right now. The moon obviously has something to do with it. We're approaching the full moon, so the full moons usually are going to be a lot of purging. So there is some shit that's going on, and the energy is building up to that moon right now, which might be creating an imbalance within people because there is that purging going on. So it's making people feel like they're not balanced mentally, emotionally, maybe even financially because of the Pentacles. So a lot of people are having financial struggles. I know a lot of people have been like quitting their jobs or losing their jobs. So there's that. And then we have the Death card in reverse. So basically, what I get with this is that there is a need for change. People are resisting the change with the 2 cards, with the Pentacles and the Death card in reverse. There is some sort of resistance with the change. There is a resistance going on. So a lot of people are resisting change. A lot of people are um, not wanting, they're holding on to things that aren't, let me get stoned or whatever. Um, there are a lot of people that are resisting the change, and they're not wanting to let go of things that don't serve them anymore. So it's very important to let go of the things that don't serve you anymore, because if they don't serve you, you don't need them in your future. So that could be jobs, that's friends, that's people, that's old belief system, that's habits, um, the way you live your life. If you drink all the time, if you go out all the time, and it doesn't really resonate with you, but all your friends are like, I want to go out, and you just have a hard time saying no. Like, let it go. Like, stop going out. Um, I stopped going out, and it was hard for my friends to get me to go out, because I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. If the way you believe things, from it could be religious, it could be like relationship templates, how you view relationships with people, friends, family, lovers, partners, whatever. Like, if there's people that don't serve you, ways of living that don't serve you, like, let it go. And it's really hard, because a lot of it, you battle your ego, which is also something that I'm getting to, is that a lot of people do not want to let their ego die. And there are some good aspects to the ego. Um, I feel like sometimes, but I kind of view my ego as the devil, because it really be getting in the way of things. And it really makes a lot of things harder for me than it should be, because I'm listening to my ego sometimes. Whereas we're meant to be people of love. By the way, I know you guys see me and I'm looking like a bum, but this is called like soft bum glam, because I'm about to go to the gym, but I'm still cute. That's why I got this chain on. That's why I got these earrings and this cute little hat on or whatever. But so what was I saying? See, I'm like a squirrel, seriously. My head is right over here, and then so that's what I'm talking about, the ego. So the ego really gets in the way. Like, for me, for example, if I'm not coming from a place from my heart, then my ego's in the way. And we all are meant to be beings of love, and we're meant to come from our heart space. Our heart space is supposed to be like our little navigation system. And a lot of people don't do that because of the belief systems and the programs we've been programmed with. So it's really, really important to start to deprogram yourself from the old ways of being, because we're breaking free from that now. Whether you guys consciously realize it, or you consciously, or like like you don't consciously realize it and it's all happening subconsciously, it's happening. And the resistance, everybody has free will, but basically what free will is how you experience how things are going to happen. So if you go with the flow of things and you allow it to just be like a wave, you ride the wave, then your experience with life is not going to be as difficult as your experience if you were resisting the wave. If you guys like have been in like a wave pool or in the ocean, and you guys know what it's like to go against the wave, you guys know that it's really hard. It's like going against the current. It's really hard. And I don't want to hear like, oh, everybody likes, like, I don't want to hear like people's stories are all like, everybody's going through something. And what a lot of people don't realize or remember is that we all chose to incarnate into our specific journeys and to experience different things. So the struggles and the, I guess, the layout of your life, of what you experience, things that you've been through, whether it's something that's really bad or not, at the end of the day, before you incarnated down to this realm, you chose to experience that because it's meant to help your soul grow in a certain type of way, or it's supposed to help you expand yourself. So that's why people experience really ugly things sometimes, because their soul is like, I want to know what that feels like, so they choose to incarnate and have that happen. Um, And you can change the way, I guess, well, it's kind of hard to go, like, we co-create our reality with the universe. We can choose the higher timeline. So if you choose to vibrate at a lower timeline, you will experience lower timeline stuff. So lower, like a lower timeline would be something that's based off of fear, like like negative emotions. Whereas if you choose to vibrate at a higher timeline, then you choose to experience things that vibrate at a higher timeline. The more pleasurable experiences, the experiences that your heart truly, that your soul truly wants to experience and that you desire. So start to, tell yourself that you want to experience the higher timeline. Start to shift your perception on things. Start to work on shifting your perception on things and how you view things and even how you talk about things. Like, your words do make an impact on how you experience things, the way you talk about things. I hate this, I hate that, blah, 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 blah. I started to try to say things less of that nature and start to move in like, okay, so this is happening because I need to learn this from this situation. This is happening because of XYZ. Whereas I'm like, I hate it, blah, 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 blah. Like, what's that gonna help? It ain't gonna help nobody. It ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help me. So we need to start having more compassion for ourselves. We need to start having more love for ourselves. So with the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Death card in reverse, I feel like that's showing that there's a resistance to the change, and that because there's a resistance to the change, that there's an imbalance with everybody. So we need to just let that death happen um, in our lives. I also pulled busy times and multitasking, sensitive emotions, and shit, you can't see these cards. Sensitive emotions and forgiveness heals. So once again, we're moving out of a space of where we've been distracting ourselves with everything, but like we've been distracting ourselves from ourselves. And it's really important to, I guess, face your demons, face your fears, face your worries, your doubts, and all of that, because you have to purge that out and you have to learn how to transmute that energy. Because if you let it sit in there, it's just gonna build up and then eventually it's gonna boom. And you're gonna be like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? I don't like this shit. So it is not fun to do the healing process, but it is very necessary. And the longer you put it off, the harder it gets. So it's really, we're moving out of a space of where we have been so focused on materialistic things and distracting ourselves from really being in touch with our truest self, our higher selves, our inner selves. And now that's why we're moving into this space of the sensitive emotions, um, which you guys can see is like a bluey color, which resembles the spirituality. This is more of a yellowy color, which can resemble your solar plexus. What I get with this one is like more of your upper chakra, so maybe throat, third eye, crown chakra. So we're moving into a space now, and there's some green in there too. We're moving into a space now where we're being forced, if you have been resisting, um, to really face our emotions and to really face our fears and to deal with things head on, because we're having to purge that and we're having to get rid of it because um, the earth, Mother Earth Gaia, is trying to ascend, and she is having a hard time to ascend because the whole collective, every single one of us, have been really manipulated with the programming, with like fears and all of that shit. It's a whole nother video. So we are moving into a space of sensitive emotions. So just be aware of like your own emotions, and do realize that when emotions come up now, that you need to take a step back if you can, and to see the bigger picture for why you're feeling this emotion, and start to dig in deep to figure out why this emotion's coming up, where it starts, because when you acknowledge where this emotion's coming from, then you're able to transmute that and you're able to purge it. So as it keeps coming up, because it'll come up over and over and over again until it's completely healed. But each time it'll get easier because you're like, okay, I acknowledge, I know what's going on, I know why I feel this way, XYZ, whatever, you guys get it. And we're moving into a space where forgiveness heals. So we have to learn how to have compassion for everyone. We have to learn how to forgive people. There's a lot of forgiveness that needs to be needed. Um, Man, the collective consciousness needs, we're learning how to forgive people because, and to be in a state of compassion. There's a lot of anger that's been built up and a lot of, like, there's been a lot of stuff that's been built up from our lifetimes that we experience right now, previous lifetimes that we've experienced. Like, a lot of us have lived hundreds of years and thousands of years, and we've lived like thousands of lifetimes and all of that. So, um, there's a lot of forgiveness that needs to we need to be, we're moving into a space of love, which is the forgiveness. That unconditional love is forgiveness. It's, forgiving people for actions that you used to be like, bitch, why you fucking acting like that? Like, no. You have to remember and realize that people are on their own path. People are on their own journeys. People are dealing with their own karma. They're purging out lifetimes of karma. People are experiencing different things. So moving from a space of judging other people and for people acting that the way they act and judging them for their actions, moving into a space of forgiving them and understanding and having compassion for where they are at their own journey versus you judging them for where they're at in their journey and how it triggered you to make you mad or to make you upset. Forgiving the whole past of I was gonna get into some things, but when I say they, it means my divine team. I'm connected to like angels and my higher self and the universe and everything, and they just kind of tell me like stuff to say and not to say. So, anyways, that's who I'm channeling right now. So, moving into that space of forgiveness is really important. Forgiving the past, that includes like stuff that's happened to like to people of color. Yes, we as people of color have been through a lot, but it's not going to help us move forward in our journeys, in our past, if we hold that resentment. There's birds in my background, and birds mean a lot to me. So if you see me looking around, it's because I keep seeing these birds by my windows. Anyways, so like for example, like the whole racial aspect of things. We as people of color, we have been through it. There, the different shades of color. Yes, we chose to incarnate in these vessels that are melanated because we came here to transmute the I guess like the karma, what has happened, transmute that energy and turn it into a higher vibration. And we cannot go into a higher vibration if we're constantly having that resentment and hate towards other people. That doesn't help you to grow. It doesn't help the collective consciousness to grow. Like our own growth helps the collective consciousness to grow. And when you are in a space of hate or resentment, like it doesn't help anybody out, and it just feeds into that negative program of fear and those lower vibrational energies that we're trying to transmute into a higher vibration of energy. So keep that in mind when you are, keep that in mind, like on your day to day. Remind yourself, like, yes, people do some fucked up shit. Yes, people can make you angry. Yes, people can have you fucked up. But you need to move into a space of learning that they're just projecting out what they're trying to heal inside of them or what they're struggling to heal inside of them. And realize that that's their own journey. Like, you can't take it to heart. Um, Everybody's on their own journey, like I said. So, learning to forgive people and to forgive yourself, it's so important to forgive yourself. Sometimes we don't forgive ourselves for actions or that we've made, decisions that we've made, whatever. Like, we don't forgive ourselves, and we don't have enough compassion and love for ourselves. And it's so important to love yourself. It's so important to forgive yourself for things that you've done. Maybe if you've hurt other people. Do you hear that? These birds are talking to me, I swear. That is like so close. Anyways, damn, that's loud. It sounds like it's in my house. Um, but you definitely really have to learn to forgive yourself, have compassion for yourself. That's where it's going to start. Having love and compassion and forgiving yourself. And then you can start to love and have compassion and forgive other people. And then we'll slowly be moving out of a space of where fear and hate exists and move into a space of unity and oneness. And yeah, so hopefully this reading helped you guys. I kind of blabbed on, I was just kind of talking and it just kind of came to me. So I don't know. Obviously, the uni wanted me to tell you guys that. So just keep that in mind. If you guys wanted to know the bottom of the deck, so the overall energy, which for this one is divine intervention. So like I said, there is a lot going on right now with the collective consciousness. We're raising into a higher vibration. We're moving from the third dimensional ways of being into a fifth dimensional way of being, which is unity and love. And so, yes, that's T. So, this video was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I don't care. Whatever. So peace and blessings.